Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live on this Tuesday night. And by special request, we have the little doggy here. It's nice of you all to show so much concern about me little dog and me wife, but nobody gives a crap about me. I'm so sad. Well, welcome everybody. Here he is. Here he is. Here's the little fella. Mwah. Hello. Say hello to everybody. Hello. Hello. So, we're gonna talk. Will we tell everybody what we're gonna talk about tonight? Will we? Will we? Right? We got lots to talk about, don't we? Right, so obviously, like, there's been a bit of a reaction, obviously, to the videos that I put up. I don't know if you have all seen my latest video. So basically, it's a mock-up article that a fan did. Basically, kind of having a dig at all the people that were basically having the rumor, were basically leaking the information, I should say. And I basically flipped it on its head and put it in. If you have heard the song New Face, it's gone quite well. Ted is getting a bit restless. Hold on. Yeah, all right, buddy. Say hello to everybody. Everybody wanted to see it. So there he is. He got his cameo. I'm going to put him down because he's looking for his toys and he gets a bit stressed. So Mammy's going to take him here, man. He's got caught in the wire. Oh, have you got him? Yeah. Oh, no, put him down. No, okay. There he is with his teddy. Look, he gets very aggressive when he gets his little. What is it, a hippo? It's a little hippo. Now, see, he wanted to get down, baby. Now, right. Okay, well, let's get into this. Right, so I'll be taking these our calls, so if anybody wants to come on and have a bit of a chat, we will also. That dog growls. Yeah, the dog has a bit of a temper, believe it or not. Might come across as all innocent, but yeah, he's he gets very jealous. Doesn't like me and Cheryl in close proximity with each other. Hates it, doesn't he? Yeah. What are you doing? Mwah. All right, good night, love. He's an Irish dog, so yeah, he's ready to fight. He is, right. I'll just do the normal shout outs first, right? Because there's been a lot of people waiting, and I appreciate it all. So let's see. We've got Yvette here, Bad Wolf 66, Gar 535, Leland. We've got Chuckzilla here as well. We've got Kevel. Welcome, Stephen Cassidy. Obviously Cheryl. How are you, Cheryl? Who else have we got? We've got Rocket Runner also. Renee is here as well. And I think so far, John Guggen. Hello, John. Mrs. Not My Doctor Who as well is here. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Stephanie and Paul. I just want to address something. So I've gotten a few comments over the last couple of days as well. Apparently, I'm not getting to see all the comments now. As you know, you yourselves, I've said this the last couple of weeks. YouTube is basically putting comments in the spam section for no reason whatsoever, right? And then in some cases, someone will make a comment, but I'm not getting it until 24 hours later or maybe even longer. So if I have missed anybody's comments, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's the same with the live stream. I'm having sometimes I'm having a problem with the live stream comments. They're not coming in the right order. Like when Cheryl watches it on her device, they're coming in a different order than they're coming in on mine. So if I'm missing comments there, again, I'm not doing it on purpose. So I do apologize to anybody if I haven't read out your comments or replied to your comments on YouTube. Uh, Let me see. We've got Paul here as well. Good evening, Paul. And Raymond O'Reilly has also joined us, and Lindsay. So welcome all. So basically, we're just gonna hold on. Right, that's okay. I just wanted to check something out first. Um, so yeah, I don't know if many of you have watched the live stream last night. So during the live stream, the source obviously got in contact and we broke some news live. Then after the live stream went up, I said an hour later I would put up a second video, which I did, which has the information on it. I also put the Tolson Cole video back in as well, and I put the Manip Gill Instagram photographs up, the two photographs, the one showing the lion going through Time Lord and the one without. Bradley Walsh's agent's CV, or the Bradley Walsh's CV from his agent. I put that up as well. And basically, I pose a couple of questions as well. So have a look at that video after this live stream uh, if you haven't already watched it. If you have, I see there's 32 people watching right now. If you haven't liked the video, give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And please make sure you are subscribed, because people are telling me that they've subscribed and then they've checked and they're unsub. So check that as well and press that notification bell also. Let me see. So we've got there's exclusive big finish here from the Radio Times. I don't know if we should take the radio. Well, we shouldn't really take the Radio Times really that serious, but I'll just read this article out anyway. So Doctor Who, it's an exclusive. So Doctor Who spin-off from Big Finish will pit the Daleks against the Mulvians once more. Two legendary Doctor Who monsters threaten to destroy the Earth, and only the countermeasures team can stop them. The Daleks will be waging war against an old foe, with the inhabitants of planet Earth caught in the middle in an exciting new Doctor Who spin-off story from Big Finish Productions. The article comes from the radiotimes.com, can exclusively reveal these are the same people that basically the robotic. I'm probably not saying the name right. Yeah, that's the name, Paul. I'm probably not saying the name properly. Who first battled the tanks from Scarrow in 1979's TV story Destiny of the Daleks are returning for two special stories. Big Finish Countermeasure series continues the adventures of Professor Rachel Jensen, Group Captain Ian Gilmore, and Alison Williams, who now work for Sir Toby Kinsley, as they battle threats to England in the 1960s and 70s. They'll once again battle the Daleks and meet the Mulvians, whatever. You know that what I'm trying to say. Was I saying it right anyway? I don't know. In a two-parter beginning with the Mulvian Maneuver by John Dornley. That's a weird name. In this opening adventure, Lady Suzanne Clare, glamorous international arms dealer specializing in alien tech and arch foe of the Intrusion Countermeasures Group, is back, and she's branched out. She's now moved into the household technology and is rolling out a device designed to help out with chores around the house. As the launch date looms, Rachel Jensen and her team are determined to find out what she's really up to and stop her. And basically, yeah. And it just goes on about, do we really care? Seriously. I don't know. But again, if you type in Doctor Who news and you look at the type of articles that they have, right? They have a screen around 10 hidden details you missed in Blink, right? Doctor Who Review, The Eighth Doctor Time War Volume 3. Then you've got Doctor Who star and the super spy speaking at this year's Gloucester Con, obviously. Doctor Who, how Stephen Moffat sneakily retconned the Valiard. Insiders dispel rumours of that, but that was 4 days ago. Then you had 3 weeks ago about Doctor Who. There's no new news at all about the upcoming series. And I find that kind of strange still now. We haven't had anything at all. But as I told you last night, apparently, as I said, according to the source, and as we always say, take the information how you want it, but the source is basically saying that there's supposed to be two announcements, one in September and one over the Christmas period. So, Movillians, no. Okay, there you go. But hold on, someone's saying I can't see any comments from anyone else here. Can anybody see mine? I could see you, John. Yes, John. Everybody could see you, John. Yeah, you might need to refresh the page. Go on, take him with you there. Where is he? Okay, sure. He'll soon follow you anyway. The BBC have gone to ground. I agree. The Daleks went looking for Davros to break the stalemate. Romana 2's first story, says Paul Brandt. Welcome, everybody that is here. John Guggen, welcome as well. So, yeah, but I still kind of find it very strange that we haven't had anything. Very strange. John Guggen says, refresh, I work at 3. Paul says, nice to see the classic characters coming back. Yeah, Big Finish, Big Finish has become very popular. A lot of fans will deny that love Series 11 and this new era. But where is he? Ted is refusing to come out of his little bed. He normally goes in with Cheryl, but he's refusing to leave. Ted, come here, buddy. Teddy. He's very stubborn. Shada needs to be redone. Yeah, I watched. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all. I even said it in a lot. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just because it wasn't a great story to begin with. But I did like the transition from original footage to the animation. Now, obviously, I still think the animation could be a lot better, but it didn't bother me too much in Shada at all, actually. But I wasn't a huge fan. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, I have to say. I was just saying it as well. It just looked like Tom Baker, and I know they said near the end he just didn't really give a crap. It just actually looked like he didn't give a crap. And another thing that I found a little bit that kind of put me off, you could tell that the animation, obviously it was the older Tom Baker that was doing the animation because he was talking differently, and that kind of put me off a little bit. Good night, love. Good night, Ted. Bye bye. Yeah, that kind of put me off. So yeah, it was nice It was nice at the end when you actually got to see Tom Baker, the old Tom Baker, standing there on the console, standing beside it. That was good. But no, I didn't like it. Paul says, or completed, it was a great idea but done poorly. I would have to agree with that assessment. Yeah, it was lacking. I wonder if Big Finish would be doing a special 4 disc set about the frog from It Takes You Away. Probably not. No, because Gar 535 they actually do decent stories. Big Finish. Um, Stephen Cassidy says, "I think if it actually existed, it wouldn't be a classic." Says Stephen Cassidy. John Guggen says the BBC need Big Finish at the moment more than they need the BBC. Big Finish are maintaining fan interest in the show. The BBC are not. Hence the Big Finish plug in the Radio Times. Exactly. Things have changed. Do you know what I mean? But Big Finish has always been there for Doctor Who fans, and rightly so. Big Finish has kept Doctor Who alive. I firmly believe without Big Finish, I don't think we'd even have the show now, to be honest with you, because Big Finish kept the interest from fans going, and kept the fandom alive as well, So I'm here, says Paul McGann is the doctor. Welcome. Paul says, bring back the Rennie. I agree. But I wouldn't, we'll wait, we'll see. Stephanie agrees as well. And so does Paul McGann, the doctor. And Leland Gaunt says, but who would play Lorraine? That's a good question. Let's get that out there. Who would use? What a shame we don't have Kate O'Mara anymore, says Stephen Cassidy. Uh, Paul McGann is the doctor, says me. Paul Brent says Rogue Time Lords are serious bad guys. Let us see Morbius before he was caught. Good idea. Dane says, what have I missed? You haven't missed anything at all. Welcome to the live stream. Joanna Lumley, as the Rennie says, Gar 535. Paul McGann says, oh no, I don't like Helena anymore. She's in everything, man. She's in everything. She's a horn Johnny Depp, the Tim Burton's favorite bleeding uh, actor and actress. It's kind of got ridiculous, but you never know. She hasn't been. I haven't seen her in that in a while, so she'd probably be good. Carter is a god actress, but rather preachy. Exactly. That's the perfect way to actually describe her, says Leland. I still love her. Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do like her. She's a great actress. It's just she's just obviously I grew up with all the movies that she was in, especially all the Tim Burton movies. Yeah, she just plays weird characters all the time. Stephen Cassidy says, no, leave Marius alone. I didn't like Marin coming back in the new series. Paul McGann says, woke. Paul says, the French British girl uh, who would make a great Rennie. Stephen Cassidy says, Emma Thompson is the true preachy one. Yeah, I agree. Her with our, what was it, Humans in Black or People in Black, because she thinks Men in Black is sexist or something. Yeah, yeah. Used to like Emma Thompson until she opened her mouth. Yeah, they should really just keep their politics to themselves. They're there to entertain. They're not there to preach. For an all or any Helen Mirren never happened though. Well, we got John Hurt. How'd you know? How'd you know? She could be a Doctor Who fan, or she could relish the chance to play someone in Doctor Who. Yvette says, Paul Don, you mean me, LOL. Lena Headey would make the perfect Rennie. Oh, that's the woman out of Game of Thrones. Yeah, she's a great actor. I agree. Right, they need to shut up and act, says Paul McGann is the doctor. Should there any now be a man? Good question. Why not gender swap the role? They did it with the doctor. I'm sure the Doctor Who fans wouldn't mind that. I like Emma Thompson. Um, Dane says Missy the Rennie in. Oh yeah, you're basically saying Missy was the Rennie. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Welcome along, everybody. Anyway, but yeah, some great actresses there. But that's actually an interesting point that Leland actually makes. Why not gender swap the Rennie? See how that go down with Doctor Who fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've no problem doing it to the Doctor, so why not go the whole hog? Do you know what I mean? Ah, it's lucky they haven't went down that route though. It's bad enough that they decided to do this to the Doctor and also the Master. Let's be honest. But yeah, no more talk of gender swapping characters. It's complete bollocks, says John Guggen. I do agree with you. I'm just making the point. You know what I mean? Like, they've done it because it's a female character. You know, gender swap. Would they all go mad? All the women. I mean, sorry, radical feminists. See, they like to have their cake and eat it. You know. Gary, because you said I could call him Gary. I forgot. Yeah, they could do a story about Morbius not getting enough fiber in his diet. Call it the brand of Morbius. Uh, Rocket Runner says gender swap a female character and they would lose the plot. Exactly. I miss the Master. Michael Sheen would be a good Master, or Richard Armitage. And yeah, that's just responding to Gary. That is a good one, though, Gary. I like that one. But yeah, as I said, the phone lines are open for anybody who would like to come on and chat tonight. And I think we might have actually a few. Hold on. uh, Let me see. Have I got anybody that wants to come on? We'll give it a sure. We're only 20 minutes in, so we'll give it a while. We've got plenty of time anyway. John Guggen, women only want equality until it's time to take the bins out. Man's job allegedly sexist, says John Guggen. Dane says, I think you're trying to say the Master. You can't understand why Missy called the Master. He's always been a man, or something like that. I think that's what you're trying to say. Leland says, cast Adrian Lester as the Rennie. Then the conflict between hating male erasure and fetishing the radical swap would cause the SJWs to explode. Who is Adrian Lester? I am not familiar. Adrian Lester, if I'm correct, wasn't he the guy that I want to go? No, that's not him. Yeah, is that the guy? No, am I getting confused? Is that the Oliver Twist fella? I could be wrong. I know his second name is Lester, isn't it? I haven't got a clue. Someone can correct me on that. Please, sir, can I have some more? Yves says, always happy to talk. Let's get some newbies on. I sent Neurotic a Facebook message with the link to your YouTube summary video from last night. I'm sure he'll do a video on it. Well, I have actually sent all the information to all the big YouTubers anyway. I broke it, so I'm not one for keeping it. I share me information anyway. Obviously after I've broke it. I've also told them, like, just to make sure to let everybody know, because you know yourselves, there's some people out there. Like, I even had to say it on Twitter again last night. Like, until BBC are actually officially announce that, and obviously, like, As I said, I believe my source, right? And others believe me source because they've seen the source come true, right? For the rest of you, right? As I said, take the information how you want. I'm not telling you to believe me, and until BBC actually really officially announce anything, you know what I mean? It's speculation, and I can even say that. Do you know what I mean? I tend to believe me source because me sources come true for me, right? That's just personally me. It's up to you how you take the information. But I had to say that again on on Twitter last night. Like, so I've just said it to the YouTubers, if you are going to do videos on this or whatever, just make sure you just let them know that it's because I don't want anybody to be getting in, getting grief off these pro Jody. It's actually ridiculous. I have to keep repeating myself and tell them, you know what I mean? I'm not telling you to believe me, to keep calling me a liar. Look, I got the information live. Everybody was here, right? I put the information out there, and I always say it's up to you how you take it. I believe my source because my source got the Jadoon spot on when nobody else was talking about the Jadoon. Nobody even knew the Jadoon were coming back, and my source let me know they were coming back that day. I put it up 4 hours before the BBC, right? So as far as I'm concerned, my source is reliable. All right, because they got that news spot on. They got the BritBox news spot on. They've been gotten a few things spot on. So like at the end of the day, I choose to believe me source. If you don't want to believe me source, that is up to yous, right? It's fine. It's up to yous. And you can go in the comments and you can make comments on my videos and say that I'm a liar or whatever like that, right? But at the end of the day, you're wrong. I'm not a liar, right? I've never lied to anybody. I give the information as I am given it, right? I just put it out there. If you choose to believe me, all well and good. If you choose not to believe me, all well and good. At the end of the day, as I have said from day one, right? I will take the fall on this if it turns out not to be true. Obviously, I've been made a fool of, but we've all seen evidence contrary to that because, as I said, the source hasn't let us down in the past. So, like, as I said, I personally choose to believe me source. You don't have to believe any information that I put out there whatsoever. Okay? Now, I can't believe I'm at the saying it again, but this is, and I mean it, this is the very last time that I'm ever discussing this again, right? After this, if you don't believe me or you call me a liar, your comments are just getting blocked. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to tolerate or listen to people like that. At the end of the day, when an announcement comes from the BBC, we'll see what happens. Okay, the cards will be laid out there, and then it'll all be out, and then we'll know then what the story is. Now, I see 30 people are watching. If you haven't liked the video, please give the video a like. If you like what I have to say. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please press the sub button and also the notification bell. And if you have subscribed, do me a favor, make sure that you're still subscribed because people are sending me messages saying that they're not getting me messages and they're being unsubbed. That is not me unsubbing anybody. Apparently, other YouTubers are having the same problem. So just make sure that you're still subscribed. Leland Gunn says he was in Hustle. Okay. I wonder if they could use deepfake technology to bring back Roger Delgado as the master. I wouldn't like that personally. Paul McGann is the doctor. That's just me. Dane says James Nesbitt. I like James Nesbitt. He's a good actor. Stephen Cassidy says, I watched the Tolson Cole video. He definitely looked disgruntled. He looked like he wished he was finished. He was getting it out so he doesn't get the blame. Exactly. Paul Brown says, let Roger Delgado's work stand for its own. I agree with that one. Raymond O'Reilly, black guy in Hustle. I know who you're talking about now, yeah. Paul McGann is the doctor. That's fair. Let the man's legacy stay where it is. Yeah, it's true. Don't understand why Cole posted it on the line unless he wants fans to know how bored he was looking. See, that's the whole thing for the video. I'll just read the rest of the comments and I'll get back to that. I like that Paul McGann miniseries idea you mentioned in the last video. Says Paul McGann is the doctor. It's bank holiday weekend. This weekend is the 8th. is the Eighth Doctor happening? Paul Brent says sometimes actors break that wall of silence or at least defy it. So, yeah, agree. Lindsay says, and welcome, Lindsay. Paul McGann should have done more TV episodes. He's an epic actor. I agree. Stephen Cassidy says that's exactly why he did it. So when shit hits the fan, exactly. I believe the case that you're doing, yeah. Um, Paul McGann says he subbed. I 100% believe in you, Noel, says Lindsay. Thanks very much. I really do appreciate that. Look, there's one thing I can honestly say to you all is that everything that I've received, I'm not lying about. Right? I've put it out there and I've always said take it whatever which way you want to, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Since I've been doing this and been getting the information, I've been getting me hopes up just like you guys too, right? I have. So, yeah, believe me when I say this. If this wasn't to happen, none of this happened, right? And it turns out they're staying or whatever. I'll be just as devastated as yous, and I'll feel like I've let yous down, even though I've never said this is all fact. I believe me source because me sources came true for me. That's just a personal thing. I've always said to you, and everybody can see the videos. I've always said, but seriously, I don't want to be letting you down either. So I feel a bit of a burden as well. I'm just letting you know because you need to know that. I just want you to know I've never lied to you. I'm not that type of person. I do not do that. I just want this all to be over, to be honest with you. The sooner for me, the day BBC make an official announcement is the day I can actually fucking I'll be either at peace or I'll have a shitstorm at me. You know what I mean? Uh, Paul says, I'll say this. I wasn't happy with the Ice Warriors going all touchy feely. And he says, the Cybermen need a complete redesign. They went from pure evil warriors to a walking joke. That stupid noise they make while walking. Yeah, but I do have to say, I think Moffat at the end of his era brought the Cybermen back to being badass again. I mean, it's them episodes with the Cybermen, especially with the conversion and all, in season 10. Like when you see it, when Bill is in that room and she turns up the volume and it's like, kill me, kill me. I thought that was very sinister. Uh, we all believe you. I'm not looking for people to believe. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm just saying, you know, I'm with you. Like every time I get a bit of news, sure, you see me reaction last night when I got it. I was just as gobsmacked as all yous when I got that news, and I was just like, you know, the reality of the whole thing is sinking in now. The Cybermen went too far from Emperor Porridge blew up an entire galaxy to get rid of them, says Leland. Uh, we believe you. If some of it is false, we won't think you let us down, says Gar. Well, look, as I've always said, Source is not going to get everything 100% right anyway. You know what I mean? Source is obviously uh, getting the information, and then, like, you know what I mean? But as I said, this source is not stupid. This source tries to get as much of it as they can verified before they give it to me. Last night, yes, some of it was verified, and as I said during the live stream, the second part of the information that I gave isn't 100% verified. So that's why I say take it with a pinch of salt. Um, I know a lot of you are very keen on bringing back old because I see it here as well. And don't get me wrong, I'd love Zootech back as well, and I'd love to see this. The Mondas Cybermen were great to see. Yeah, they were. It made Paul. I agree with you. It made the Cybermen. It made the Cybermen more sinister again. I do agree with you. I never liked the redesign, but let's be honest. The Cybermen episodes weren't that bad. Some of them were okay. Only the rare individual villain like Zootek should be ultra powerful, not whole races of them, says Leland. I agree. I wanted to see the cyber leader, but I'm a die-hard fan, lol. Stephen Cassidy says, I think the Monda Cybermen were the most convincing of the new series. I agree. You don't have to defend yourself, F the haters. Yeah, I know, but it's just like just for example today, you know yourselves. I go through the comments and I always do, and I try to reply to as many as I can, and then I'll just see one or two comments, and then you just like, and it's the same person all the time. And I mean, like it says it in the video. I don't know. Maybe as I said, this is what this series has done. It's attracted dumb people, and I'm gonna say it out straight. And I don't care if I'm insulting people. I don't give a shit anymore. But it's attracted dumb people. They've dumbed down the show, so you've got dumb people that are following the show, and then they're dumb. They don't get it that when someone says, it's from a source, I believe my source, but you don't have to believe the information. They don't. You just don't get it, and that's what annoys me because they're coming on then and they're making comments, and then other people then are defending me, and I don't want that either. But it doesn't matter. Let's. I don't want to be talking about them idiots anyway anymore. Um, I mean, we've got better things to be worried about. The future of the show, as we said, that's what we should be. That's what we should be worried about. Um, Yeah, Kev, you're right. Yeah, extremely moronic people who are pretty clueless about life in general. Exactly. Sure, look at the crap that they come out with. Rocker Runner calling them dumb is being kind, actually. Exactly. No, you're right. It's a new show and it deserves new villains. I really like the Weeping Angels. They were absolutely brilliant. And the fact that we've only seen them move once just adds to them. I like the Weeping Angels. I didn't like the Weeping Babies, but I did like the Weeping Angels, and I certainly didn't like that Weeping Statue of Liberty. That was bleeding ridiculous. Gary says they need to bring back the creature from the pit in full high def CGI. LOL. um, Stephen Cassidy says I'd watch Erato. Leland says aliens with convincing cultures would be good. Paul says Telos was their new home. Yvette says, I agree. The Weeping Angels were the scariest new creation of the New Who era. Yeah, I do think Blink is overrated, though. Um, Rocket Runner says, creature from the pit, you mean Theresa May. Ah, I knew she'd get in there somehow. Kevel, the babies were in the awful New York episode. Some parts were okay and some were very cringy. Yeah, I don't like that. The parts with Rory and Amy were actually very good. Uh, Amy redeemed herself in my eyes anyway, even before that. But the fact that they went together, I like that. And then when the Weeping Angel took him away, and then she chose then to go back with him, she redeemed herself. I actually like Amy's character. I was too harsh on Amy's character when I was watching at the time. I've had more appreciation for Amy's character, and I know she annoys me sometimes, and you could see clearly that, mm, with the little short dresses that she was wearing, that Moffat was clearly making her a bit of a sex symbol in the show, but she was definitely a talented actress. Um, and then Rory came into it, then it made it even better, in my opinion. They already had Ian Duncan Smith on the show in the Satan Pit, says Leland Gond. I like Blink, maybe a bit overrated, I agree, but it's still very good. Yeah, it is. It's a simple story though. And it just goes to show when Moffat does keep it simple, you know. Um I do think the two-part Weeping Angel story with Matt Smith is much better. And actually, there were the four scenes that he actually filmed for the Doctor, and you think he was in the role for years. Um, and the Yeti, well overdue for a comeback. I agree. Says Barry, and welcome Barry. The Satan Pit was horrible, says Paul Bryant. The Great Intelligence was supposed to be the same from the Yeti stories, says Paul. And Leland goes, what do you expect with IDS chained in a pit? I don't know, lads and ladies. Is that a beer? No, no. It's me, right? It's 7 Up, and then I put my own little concoction into it. Yeah, yeah. Right. So let me see. Who have we got? Who have we got? Who have we got? Who have we got? Right, listen, as I said, 20, what's it, 40 minutes in. An hour in, I'm going to be taking your calls. So if anybody wants to come on, any new callers, actually, come on, don't be shy. It's not a video call. Just come on and you talk in the comments there. If there's anything you would like to talk about, um, and we get some comments. Jamie says, I don't mind Angels Take Manhattan apart from the Statue of Liberty. It wasn't a bad story, but it wasn't great either. And at that time, I was just so over River Song. I enjoyed the Satan Pit. It was a lot better than what came afterwards and had a sci-fi vibe, says Stephen Cassidy. They need to bring back the worm from, is it the worm from the Ark in Space? They'd be great in CGI, I agree. I'd say this, I like how Moffat wrapped up the scar in the universe being Gallifrey reaching out a bit overdone. I didn't like Trenzalore, but it tied together nice at the end. Yeah, it was. I actually had. Do you like jelly babies? Oh yeah, I love jelly babies. I do. I love jelly babies. I love jelly babies. Yeah, I had a big packet of them a couple of weeks back. I'll tell you what. The next live stream, which is tomorrow night, I'll bring some jelly babies. I don't mind Angels Take Manhattan apart. Oh yeah, I read that one. And welcome, Jamie. Worm definitely. Weeping Statue of Liberty was pure filth, says Paul. I agree. I thought it was rubbish because here was the thing, right? It made no sense, right? Because apparently you can't see the weeping angel move if you're looking directly at it. So you mean to tell me that everybody in New York City was asleep right at that time when the weeping angel was moving? I don't think so. Ridiculous. See, again, Moffat made little mistakes like that. Again, I want an intelligent Doctor Who show. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I'm sorry if the people that don't get it, I'll be even kinder again instead of calling them dumb. I'll say the people that don't get it, if they don't get it and they walk away, let them walk away. You will gain more fans. You look at shows that are intelligently written, right? They have a fan base. Do you know what I mean? They have a fan base and a pretty good fan base, right? So I mean, Doctor Who can achieve a lot of good things. Do you know what? I would love any of the candidates that are showrunner to look at this video because this is what I'd say to you, right? We all we want is good, intelligent sci-fi writing. We want decent characters with decent character arcs, right? We want them all to have great characterization too. Chris Chibnall doesn't know how to build he doesn't know how the character develop, right? We want good character development for these characters. Okay? As I said, intelligent writing, great characters, great character development, right? And then obviously have bring back the cliffhangers, right? Because that's what made Doctor Who popular. We always liked an episode of Doctor Who to end on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? So it would make us want to watch next week's episode. That is the one big thing, and it's a big major plus in Doctor Who's survival, and it really is. People keep talking about, and it's the one thing, and it's a simple little thing. It's not, we're not asking for anything huge here. It's a simple little thing. Bring back the cliffhangers, right? Another thing, keep out stupid pop silly feckin' music out of the show as well, right? There's some deadly composers out there that do some great sci-fi fucking music, right? If you're not gonna go back to the old tried and trusted like Murray Gold, then go out and get someone out there that has experience in writing music for sci-fi shows and make Doctor Who more sci-fi, right? I'm sick of it. Doctor Who has abandoned, right? And I know people say, but it was all about history first when it first came. But when the Daleks came, it changed, right? So we're not talking about the first couple of stories before the Daleks came along, right? We're talking about after the Daleks, the show itself became proper sci-fi, all right? So yes, it still did the historical stories, and you can still do it, but we want sci-fi stories. You can write intelligent sci-fi, right? I don't care about the other fans. If they go, they go. This show will get a fan base if you actually have, as I said, those key elements in place. And then, as I said, it's all well and good putting those points out there, but you need the right man to take the show forward, right? In showrunner. But you also, I think, personally speaking, and I've said this a lot, and a lot of fans have said it also, right? Why not bring back a classic writer or two that are still alive and bring them back as consultants to help the new writers? Do you know what I mean? They could help in some capacity. You know, it's all well and good me sitting here and actually saying that though. You know, it's probably a lot harder behind the scenes to do what I'm saying. But to me, it seems simple, right? We're not asking, you know, for art and much, to be quite honest with you. In all fairness, I think Doctor Who has been disrespected over the years, and even uh in the classic era. So I think it's about time that the BBC or whoever takes over this show actually shows it the due respect that it is due, and it deserves an awful lot of respect. And I'm telling you, and I keep saying this in every live stream, BBC don't understand the potential that they actually have. That show that show could be right now the biggest show on television, right? Game of Thrones is finished now, right? I know everybody was pissed off with the last season, but Game of Thrones is finished. That was considered one of the biggest shows on TV. Who could reach those heights? They don't even need the same budget, though. People say, but Game of Thrones has a huge budget. Doctor Who has a small budget. You don't need a big budget. Classic Who showed that you don't need a big budget. Russell T Davis's first series proved you don't need a big budget. But if you've got good storylines, good characters with good characterization, right, good villains, you can actually have a successful show. It's not bloody rocket science. So whoever the new showrunner is, do me a favor, listen to the fans. All right, listen to what they have to say. You know what I mean? And some will come out with ridiculous ones, right? But you'll know which ones are ridiculous and which ones that actually, make sense to bring back. Your job as showrunner is to pick the right stories, pick the right team to bring this show forward. Yeah? And another thing as well, nobody's opposed to politics in Doctor Who. No, we're not whatsoever. But do not make the politics the forefront of Doctor Who episodes, and don't come across as all preachy either. We want to be entertained, not preached to. Okay? You could still highlight social issues if you want to. Okay? But the story comes to the forefront. The politics are in the background the way it always has been, or it's integrated into the universe in a clever way, not the way Chris Chibnall did it. So please, new showrunner, listen to the fans. Right, I'll read. Sorry, you know me. I get very passionate. Um, so let me see. Right, here we go. Um, uh, a metal statue was apparently a weeping angel when the rest were all stone, says unknown 289. Jamie says, do you think Gallifrey should return? Hmm, I don't know now. I mean, it was a kind of a mess. But it's I don't know. Personally, if the Time Lords were going to return to the way they should be, then maybe. But a lot of Doctor Who fans would have different opinions on that one. It'd be very checkered across the board. Stephen Cassidy, don't touch anything from Mark in space. It's pure for perfection. Gary says the humanity speech from Tom Baker in that episode is one of the great Who moments. The Gallifrey has returned, but it is in hiding. Just stupid. How the most powerful race in existence has to hide at the end of time. Stupid. I agree. Would everyone like to see Fenric or Sutek return? I wouldn't mind Sutek return, but not yet. Um, I like Vera and the workers complaining that they've been woken up, says Stephen Cassidy. We need Candyman back, says Gary. Leland says Rutens should become a regular enemy for our body snatchers vibe, which they should have done with the Zygons instead of making them into bewildered refugees, says Leland. I know, but that was a whole political angle there. Again, as I said, that was the wrong way to go about it as well. So any prospective showrunner, look at Philip Hinchcliffe's era, a showrunner, most classic stories from one era. Take that as your benchmark. I agree, Paul. About a new bad enemy for the Daleks? How about we just, I don't know, maybe they come up with a decent fucking new villain now that's actually even more powerful than the Daleks. Why not? Pyramids of Mars, Hand of Fear, Planet of Evil, Deadly Assassin, Masque of Mandragoria, Genesis of the Daleks, Destiny of the Daleks, etc. Why not kill the Doctor off and make the Daleks the no way, no protagonists like the Dalek Commons? No. Invasion of Time, says Paul. Brand. Lindsay says, I would love to see the Autons back. They are classic. Rocker Runner says, simple solutions are usually the best. No, the more you complicate things, the worse it gets. Eldrad must live. Jamie says Doctor Who has potential to be the British game or the Game of Thrones of British TV. Look, it doesn't only have the potential, it's all there. It's all there for them. You just need someone that is clever enough to tap into the source information. You and I refuse to believe that all writers out there are all politically driven. There has to be a writer out there that look. I just want someone that understands Doctor Who, and Raymond O'Reilly, Gases, and Peter Capaldi as consultants to the show. See, again, that'd be a dream team for me because Peter has worked behind the scenes. And wouldn't it be great if we could see Peter Capaldi's name again? It's not a children's show anymore. The day that day has passed. Make the commitment to good sci-fi. Exactly. Look, at the end of the day, you could still make intelligent sci-fi to keep the kids entertained. Anyway, you could still make it a family show, but give the adults something. Do you know what I mean? Chris Chibnall's completely abandoned that. He just wants to entertain the kids. Hence, why the show has been, brought down to their level, and why adults are turning off. And the only adults that watch this are the adults that buy into all this SJW bull. You know what I mean? Then they raise their kids up to be like that. And they ought to be actually ashamed of themselves. And, it's kind of child abuse, really, if you ask me, because you bring your child up to believe all this crap, hating men and everything, looking over your shoulder and basically preaching that, that women are basically slaves. Like, what the fuck? Excuse the language, but seriously, why? Like, is it our fault the way the world went for women hundreds of thousands a year or hundreds of years ago? It's not my fault. Why should I have to pay for previous mistakes of previous generations? Is this is today's society not trying to make it better? Even though these lunatics are going the wrong way about it, but hasn't society not made huge strides? Like in the last few hundred years, I think women are a lot better off now than they ever were, and these radical feminists are just sprouting all this fucking propaganda. Women can be whoever they want to be. Nobody's stopping them. Yes, I'm not saying that there's some companies out there that still have whatever, this, that, and the other that stops women, or there's still a gender pay gap. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, right? And I'm not saying it's perfect, right? But we've made huge strides, like. Do you know what I mean? The way these radical feminists are talking, you think women were still in chains and tied to the kitchen sink or tied to the cooker and were slaves for men. You know what I mean? And then they actually criticize women that want to stay at home and have kids, like. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they've chosen to do. If a woman wants to stay at home and have kids, fair enough. If she wants to go out and have a career and be successful, fair enough. Who are we to tell a person that they can't do? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. All these radical feminists just need to like keep their mouth shut. It's not as bad as they're making it out to be at all. Um, Unknown 289 says, bring back the Slovene. No, I didn't really. No, the CGI was terrible on them. It's aged very badly. Paul says, every story on Gallifrey was politics, class, social problems, ego, there's always a word you just make me try to say that I can't say. Oh. Egalitarianism, whatever the crap that is, but well hidden and done. I hate those words. Power gone unchecked, says Paul. Bad Wolf 66. Time War 2, blow up Gallifrey for good. Why would we blow up Gallifrey for good? I would know. Well, if the Time Lords come out of hiding, the Time War will start all over again. No, but that's what they wrote. Do you know what I mean? That's what they wrote. No. That's not necessarily true. Just look at for a minute. It's been the point has been the point is a fact. The Time Lords are feared all over the galaxy anyway. So why would they be hiding? They wouldn't be hiding. It doesn't make any sense. Not at all. I never liked that story thread. I never liked the fact that no. I'm sorry, but no. Bad Wolf 66 says Time War 3 return of Gallifrey, but from another universe. But these Time Lords are total dicks, and they want to achieve and multiversal empire. Super John, I would like the meddling monk to return, but it depends on the writer doing it exactly. Unknown 289 says we really need to see the Time Reapers come back from Father's Day to show. Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There's been multiple paradoxes, and they've never come back. So again, that's another thing that they haven't done properly. See, Doctor Who fans are intelligent, right? But you'll have other fans that'll say, and fans that are fickle that'll say, "Ah, come on, now you're just being too fickle. That doesn't really matter." Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you're going to do a sci-fi show, yeah, it has to have some sort it has to make some sort of sense. So if they came in Father's Day, they should have turned up several times during Moffat's era. Michael Richardson says, is there any new information? Well, the only new information, it's not really new information because I already broke it. Apparently, there's a meeting tomorrow. So, apparently, there's a D-Day meeting tomorrow for the staff. So, the contents of that meeting, I do not know. But I'm sure if anything comes from that meeting, I will find out. Which I'm hoping we do. More than likely we probably, but I'm not. We'll see. But that's what apparently is happening. And Yvette's source also, if I'm correct, has also confirmed that there's some sort of meeting tomorrow. There's several people that have actually mentioned it. Of course, we mentioned it here as well on this channel. On one of the live streams, I think I did say that there was supposed to be a meeting Wednesday. I think it was last week when I said it. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I did say it in a live stream. So there's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow. So we'll just see what comes of that. And welcome along, Michael. Apart from Genesis, the best Doctor Who stories have not featured the Daleks or Cybermen. Having them in the story dampens down the writer's imagination. They're like a get out of jail free card. Michael Richardson says the world is too PC these days. I agree. Unknown289 just went on Twitter, Big Finisher, asking if there was an audio version of James Bond, then who should play him? Nice. See, yeah, Big Finish, Big Finish is some of their stories are doing the PC, but the main line I heard has stayed away from that sort of stuff. Super John says, I don't know why the nation estate did not more to block the Daleks from appearing unless there was a decent story to feature them in. Resolution was bad, not worthy of having the Dalek concept in it. To be honest with you, I think they got away with that because they slightly changed the design of the Dalek. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Terry Nation's estate need to put their foot down, because the Daleks have been treated like utter crap for the last few years. Michael Richardson, feminist and SJW just want to spread hate and misery off straight right white men. Well, I'm not going to say feminist. I'll say radical feminist because there's some feminists out there that are actually fighting the cause for men too because they don't like the behavior of these radical feminists. So I would have to say I disagree with you on that one. It's not feminists at all. It's these radical feminists. Feminists are for equality. Radical feminists are for world domination. And you seen the video that I did during the live stream where I showed just that woman saying, kill all men, babies, kill any man out in the street if you see a man out there. I played the video for you. You're seeing the type of mentality that these women have. Big Finish, what are you talking about? That's what happens when you listen to the Twitter ratty. Yeah. Michael Richardson, random. Were you a Sega or Nintendo kid? I can answer that question. Hold on. Right. Hold on. Right, I'll give you a clue. Hello, I'm Mario. And of course, I've got this little bad boy. And I've got the L controller too. Did you have Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3 on this bad boy? So yeah, as you've guessed, I'm a Nintendo kid. Um, don't get me wrong. I had a Sega Mega Drive too as well. I think it was my brother that had the Sega Mega Drive too. I'm not 100% sure if it was me or it was my brother. It was a long time ago. But there was definitely a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, um, Sega Mega Drive, and I think there was a Sega Mega Drive too as well. Um, Raymond O'Reilly says there were writers out there who are not political, but the BBC with the metropolitan liberals' view are, yeah, I agree. John Guggen says, what about a story arc in which the Doctor desperately needs to return to Gallifrey? It could be like the Key to Time season, with the finale being his arrival back on his home planet. Yes, something like that would be fantastic, actually. Look, they need to forget about this whole bleeding story arc with Gallifrey gone and all this crap and just bring it back. Bring back the Time Lords and make them the way they were, and then actually have the Doctor go back to Gallifrey every once in a while or something. Or they could summon them back or something and send them on missions or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You can make it interesting. It's not, again, as we said, it's not rocket science. Um, I need a whole season with no Daleks. They encourage laziness. They've become another walking joke. I agree. That's from Paul. Jamie says there should be a sequel or a story like The Mind Robber. Um, Michael Richardson says that's what I meant. Sorry, I forgot to write radical. It's okay. It's just you know, I used to say feminist, but you can't. Okay, I know the difference now. There is a difference. Feminists have their ideals, but they're not radical about them. They do know that there has been huge major strides, and they don't like the behavior of these women, and they've come out to defend uh, us men. And it's great to see that we have women that are out there that are willing to stick their necks out there for us. Because, like, I know some men will say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be talking like that. Shows weakness." Look, get over yourself. It's 2019, right? Men are just as emotional as fucking women, all right? And things like that. What's happening on social media in movies, being constantly bashed all the time, told that you're not worth anything. Women being told, "Watch out for these white males, they're evil," and all this. It takes their toll. Trust me, it takes the toll on a man, right? Um, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Society today should be ashamed of itself. It should be really ashamed. Um, Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU, says in absent in absentia X. Um, You can buy the Chinese versions much cheaper with like 300 games for about a tenner. This is a rip off one, I think. It's called Cool Baby. It has 600 games on it, but it doesn't have Mario 2 on it, which annoyed me because I wanted to get the trilogy, and so I've only got Mario 1, Mario Brothers 1, and Mario Brothers 3. But I like Mario Brothers 3. The water world always annoys me, and it still annoys me to this day. Um, but instead, you could change into a frog, you could fly, you could do all sorts in that one. I like it. Um, that's cool. I'm a Nintendo kid too. Although I had a Mega Drive as well. Yeah, I think everybody did because you'd always it's like today, isn't it? You've got your Xbox fans and you've got your PlayStation 4 fans, right? But back in the day, we were the same. You were either a Nintendo kid or you were say because like you always had that one mate that had a Sega Mega Drive, or if you're all Sega Mega Drive players, you always had that one mate that had a Super Nintendo. I love that. I had a mate that had a Commodore 64 as well. Um, that used to take ages to load. Oh Jesus Christ, you'd be waiting ages for a game to load on that thing. Um, Actually, don't forget. Actually, Friday night. Yeah, we had a conspiracy zone on Friday night. So I don't know if everybody is up for another conspiracy night on Friday. If not, give me your suggestions tonight for a show for Friday. Yeah, and we'll run with that. Maybe we should talk about computer games and stuff like that. Maybe childhood memories. Maybe do another 80s kind of night because everybody liked the 80s live stream. We could talk about, well, no, we could don't have to restrict it to 80s. We could just talk about our childhood because we were all born at different times. We could talk about our favorite games and all that and stuff. Because it's great when you hear stories like that. I mean, I remember when I got me Nintendo for Christmas, right? My dad was showing me how to play. It was funny, and he got to World 5 or something, and then finally I got a turn of me because he was showing me how to play it. So then I got it, and I ended up playing the thing. He was going mad because he was playing it. Oh, it's funny back then. Back then, funny, funny. Yeah. Gallifrey is part of Doctor Who, plain and simple. Has been since the War game, says Paul. Did you know Nintendo was going to partner up with Sony to make a CD add-on for Super Nintendo? No way. Oh, please! They did it with say because I actually have don't know if any of you have it because I have a PlayStation 4, but I've got Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's an updated version of the old ones, but it's definitely because you could see that it's an old one. They just updated it, but it's deadly. I want to seriously if they do it on PlayStation 4, I'll be over the moon. Just give me the look. Just give me Super Mario 1. Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, and what was it? Super Mario World, I think it was as well. That was like, yeah, it was like them. And the new Super Mario, but oh no, they won't do that because that's on the Wii. But oh man, I just love the Mario games. And Alex the Kid, I used to play as well on the that was on the that was on the Sega Mega Drive. If anybody remembers Alex the Kid, I used to love playing that. Did anybody remember the game, actually, the Michael Jackson game that they had for Sega? You were in the Moonwalker costume, you were going around, you were doing the kicks and the arms and all. Oh, man, they were the days in the Batman game. Um, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I love Sonic. Crash Bandicoot. Oh, man, this is actually turning into something else, this stream. But I don't really mind because, like, you know, it's nice to talk about something that puts a smile on your face, isn't it? Uh, Geek Name Joel says, "Hell yeah, hey yeah, do, hey yeah, do." And the Weird Jester says, "If you were in a situation where you had to be one of them, would you be a Cyberman or a Dalek?" Ah, that's easy. I'd be a Dalek. Yeah, because no matter what happens, they always seem to come back, don't they? They're a bit like weeds. No matter how much you use Roundup, they still come back. Uh, you can download the ROMs. Is that are the ROMs, the emulators or something? Right? They're crap. The emulators for the. I've played them on my phone and all. Random again, says Michael Richardson. What is your personal thoughts on the live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out? Right. Right, let's look at live action game movies that I've personally seen. So I've seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, right? And that was a pile of crap. And then I remember watching the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer. Now I know everybody lost their shit over Sonic's design, right? But I actually didn't think it was bad as people made it out to be. Um, the thing that's put me off the movie isn't Sonic the Hedgehog. It's actually Jim Carrey. I don't like Jim Carrey anymore. He's just gone a bit of a weirdo. And if they had to cast someone else in the role, then I wouldn't have had a problem with it. It's gonna be a fun. I think it's gonna be a fun. But look at what I like about the Sonic the Hedgehog producers and director and the people behind it was as soon as the fans kicked up murder about the design of Sonic the Hedgehog, they said they were gonna rectify it. And the fact that they've listened to the fans gives me hope for that movie, to be quite honest with you. And I hope it, and you know what, I really do hope it is a success because, why not? You know what I mean? It's way overdue, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't mind them doing, because I know Bob Hoskins is gone and God rest his soul and all that, right? But I wouldn't mind them remaking Super Mario Brothers either, but do it fucking properly this time. Do you know what I mean? They could actually do it properly now. Do you know what I mean? Because look at the way they've done all the Avengers universe and all the MCU universe, the DC universe. They could do it. The Universal universe went to shit, but you know what I mean? At least they tried. They could do it. Why not? You know what I mean? I would do it. I wouldn't mind a Super Mario movie if they got the right actors and stuff involved. A great director and someone that can actually write. Well, considering the direction of the MCU, looks like it's going to be Spider-Man might have dodged a bullet. So what's happened? Is that what's happened? Sony have basically their contractors up with. I don't know how that all worked out, but um, so if Sony again now taking over, mm, I don't know. I don't know. But I do agree the way the MCU is going. It doesn't. Yeah, not my Doctor Who. Showing my age, but my game computer was ZX Spectrum. And Yvette says I had a BBCB computer. Then a Sega girl. In absentia X says to Sonic. I personally didn't love the Nintendo 64. I remember playing the more of the Dreamcast and Plastron more back then. Yeah, Nintendo 64 I didn't like either. Um, and what was it? The GameCube as well. That sure didn't that flop as well. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong on that one, but I know one of them flopped. Bad Wolf 66, the onion challenge. You eat an onion without crying. Well, I was a chef. I used to chop onions all the time, so like, yeah, we're used to that. I had a Commodore VIC 20, took cassette games. Yeah, you had to buy an external adapter for cartridge games. Yeah, I remember the cassette when you'd be sitting there for fecking ages for the thing to load up. Um, Bull says howdy, welcome Bull. Then the Atari 26 thousand, I remember that. Stuart says and welcome. I'm old as well. I had the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, Bad Wolf 66, Sonic Mania. Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I have it. I have to renew me the PS Plus. Um, um, Alex the Kid Classic says Michael Richardson. Yeah, it was. Stephen Griffith says the ZX81. the 48K Rubber Key Spectrum, Commodore 64, Atari ST520, and the Commodore Amiga 500, then the 120, then matured to PC. And that was a mouthful. Michael Richardson says, Moonwalking, still have that. Oh man, I'd love to see a video of you playing that game. I have not played that game in ages. It is a brilliant game. Seriously, I think it's a brilliant game. I used to love it. Show idea. What is your second favorite show after Doctor Who? Oh, right now for me, I have to be honest. It's the Orville. I'm loving the Orville right now. Um. So yeah, right now, and I was watching Swamp Thing. I haven't watched the end of it yet, but I was really enjoying that as well. Now I know some people have come out and said that, well, they changed certain characters in it. Well, I didn't know that because, as I said, I have never read Swamp Thing. So me watching it myself, it didn't affect my enjoyment of it. But apparently, if you know that the characters have changed, apparently it's ruined people's enjoyment. But I don't think it was done for PC reasons because I don't see any PC shit in this. So I don't know what they're moaning for. Like, just watch the bleeding show. It's actually enjoyable. The deaths in it are great. There's a horror in it. There's voodoo shit going on in it. It's actually quite good. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I not don't know all the characters in Swamp Thing, but yeah, there's people complaining because apparently certain characters were changed, and I don't. As I said, I didn't know that, but it didn't ruin my enjoyment for the show. Um, Paul says I had Colco Vision, played pixelated games like a Pong. Yvette says Sonic is epic. Bad Wolf 66, Spyro 3. Love Spyro, says Yvette. Stephen Griffith says I had the Colco Vision 2. Wasn't a console fan though. Michael Richardson says, do you remember the Mario movie? Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, the original trilogy is where it ended for me, says Bad Wolf 66. My first video game was Pong in the late 70s, says Stephen Griffiths. You could play them on your laptop, no problem, says Bad Wolf 66. Get Retro PI, install ROMs. The emulator is great, says Bull. I will check that out, guys, because yeah, I mean, I'm still a fan. I mean, I love playing um Super Mario 3. I still get I don't know about yours, but I still get the frustration that I used to get when I was a kid when I played these games. Now, some politicians and all will say, oh, but that's how you know you're angry and you're going to turn into a killer and all this crap. No, people just have been getting frustrated with video games for years, right? I've seen videos where I seen this one video where this guy, he's playing FIFA, and I think he's playing FIFA 18 or FIFA 19, and he's playing that Ultimate Team, and he gets C Ronaldo as one of his cards, and he's basically celebrating, he is, and he picks up his chair and he throws his chair, but he doesn't realize he throws his chair right into his 50-inch screen TV and smashes his TV. It's just emotion. And maybe some people don't get the fact that you get emotionally invested in games. It's like everything. Everybody gets emotionally invested in anything that they do. And people that say that they don't are lying. Michael Richardson says, do you know Mario 2 was actually a reskin of a game called Doki Doki Panic, translate to Heart Pounding Panic? Nintendo did it because the Japanese version was too hard. Oh, I never knew that. Yeah, but you could bury in Mario 2, you could play with Luigi and you could bury yourself in the sand like Snake and all that. Text games making people violent, says Bad Wolf 66. Um, I, as you have seen, I'm not actually going to read out the comments that you are personally responding to each other with. I'm just going to read out the individual comments because it gets a bit confusing sometimes for me. I love playing Frogger on the Commodore 64 when it came out. Matrix 4 has been confirmed. What a load of my crap. We don't need it. What do you think the Eighth Doctor miniseries will be about? I think they will base it in the Time War with an overreaching story arc throughout the 6 episodes. I don't really know. I don't really want to kind of speculate there, but apparently it's going to be, it's supposed to tie in with the main show. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. They are doing a Mario movie, but this time it's going to be animated and it's going to be done by the people behind Despicable Me is real. We should hear about it soon. I don't know if I'd be too keen on that, to be honest with you. I'd prefer a live action Mario movie, to be quite honest. I don't know why I've just, even though the original one is so bad, you're just drawn to it. It's got a cult following. What kind of text games? Pong was out at the end of 1972 too. So do you mean digital or pencil and paper? Says Stephen Griffiths. Oh, I read out some. Oh, see, this is where, yeah, it's trending on Twitter. Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, no, not another Matrix movie. Not another Matrix movie. We don't need it. You're shouting again, sister wife. I'm sorry. Anyway, you're still up, aren't you? Oh, there's an original one. Peter just sent me an original handy with 620. Oh, and it's only 13.99. Oh, now see, I'd rather that one because it has the square controller, the original square controller. You can't beat it, can you? You can't beat it. Um, the gaming zone could be on Monday. Says Badwell 66. I agree. Tolkien is a god. The books were beautifully written. Not my Doctor Who says I think Seth MacFarlane created an all-male race in the Orville just to get up radical feminist noses, and totally agree. The Orville is very good, much better than Discovery. I agree. I agree. Mocklins urinate once a year. Captain, I need some time off to lay an egg. I've laid an egg. Legion was great show. The very last episode was Game of Thrones letdown though. Horrible way to end an awesome show. The Tardis Zone on Wednesdays and announcement days. Says Badwolf 66. The Conspiracy Zone, or the Paranormal Conspiracy Zone on Fridays. Uh, where are we? There we go. Noel, are you a Blake Sevens fan? That could be a good movie. Wouldn't want to see a reboot, just a movie version of that amazing show. That's how you do politics correctly in a way. Yeah. I mean, but look, again, would we really want another? It's like this Red Dwarf apparently is supposed to be coming back again. I know, and I know it came back already, and but they're bringing it back again, and I'm not too happy about that, to be quite honest with you. It just seems to be this nostalgia grab, and even BBC are at it now. Um, the Tripods is due for a remake also, says Paul. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Jesus. I like the remake movie of the Day of the... Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Come on. Why are they doing this? Why? Why? I never liked the American model of Super Nintendo. Have you seen it? Well, I don't know what... I don't know. I had the Super Nintendo version that we had was kind of like what I showed you. That was the way our Super Nintendo was, but a larger version. That's exactly, and then you put the cartridge in on top here. Um, Geloja, says Stuart. If anybody hasn't watched The Orville, you should. Is there going to be a new master, or is John Sim still the master? Haven't the clue. Have you watched the Macra Terror yet? No, I still can't get to see it yet. For some weird reason that won't bleed and play for me. But I will. I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it. Do you prefer the name Mega Drive or Genesis? I always liked Mega Drive better. John Sim let me down as the master. Didn't pull the evil of Delgado. No, but I think he kind of redeemed himself in Series 10. Um, Red Dwarf got good again, though. The first Dave's episodes were pretty bad. But then it got better, says Dario 108. Sapphire and Steel, what do you think of it? Um, yeah, what can I say, really? Not really a fan. Red Dwarf hasn't been contaminated yet, but Red Dwarf hasn't been contaminated yet. Um, I'll watch it again. See what the story is. Everybody's telling me that I should watch it again, so I will. I will. The Orville keeps getting better. Yeah, I know some people were saying that Series 2 was a bit, a bit more top, but I like that. You know, I thought it was more mature. It's starting to mature into a great, uh, great, um, a great show. Whoop. I just see there's a few private conversations going on there. Let me see. The Orville, I read that. The American sense have purple. The absolute best of British sci-fi. Dario 108 says, love the Orville. I've been playing the fan-made game on Steam, says Dario 108. Rocker Runner says, people tell me I'm weird because my favorite series of Blake 7 was the fourth one. Stephen Cassidy says, you do realize now that people in charge of Hollywood are younger than us and lack the imagination to invent anything new. Yeah, exactly. That's what's wrong with them all. They all need a bang on the head with a hammer or something. Knock some intelligence into them all. Do you like Stephen King? Yeah, I'm a Stephen King. I think everybody likes a bit of Stephen King. Well, I have to admit, I prefer John Carpenter. Ooh, controversial. Um, the new Red Dwarf is pretty good. My favorite episode of season 11 and 12 is Officer Rimmer. Stephen, oh no, that's a private conversation. Noel, will you be heading down to Las Vegas to track down Chibnall? It would make a great live stream, especially if you found him. Oh, Jesus, if I found him, I'd kick the shit out of him in Vegas. I said, what are you hiding for? Get back and face the music. Yeah. Chibnall needs to face the music. Chibnall needs to face the music. I never got into fire skateboard. Me seems silly. Fire escape was incredible. Love weird sci-fi, says Yvette. Sorry, but fire escape was awesome, says Rocket Runner. Do you remember the Super Star Wars trilogy on SNES? I don't actually. I actually don't, believe it or not. Oh, I do. I do actually. You do. I think you were in a space fighter thing, shooting shit. I think, if I remember correctly, I might have had one. I'm not a Star Wars fan anyway. I'm gonna be controversial again. I'm a Star Trek fan. So, but yeah, that's gone to shit too. Have you seen the news on aliens in Cardiff? I hope it is the White Guardian or the Black Guardian. I put those photographs up on my YouTube channel, and I put them up on Twitter as well. They're not the white and black Guardian. I don't know where. That's just fans pretending that they know stuff that they don't actually know. Stephen Griffith says, my weird wifey knew there was a reason I married you. Says Eva. All right, that's that, Eva. Again, I keep getting confused with all these little private conversations. Um, I tried to get into Fire Escape, seemed boring to me. All flashy makeup and weak stories, a British version of Andromeda. Chuckzilla says, where's Chuckzilla? Season 10 and 12 of Red Dwarf are great. Back to the glory days. Really funny again. My friend actually lives in Vegas and she hates his guts for destroying her favorite show. Well, get your friend to go and hunt. Go and check all the strip clubs. Go and check all the bars. Go and check all the hotel rooms. Go and check everywhere, right? Try get a photograph. Even if someone was able to clip a photograph of him without even knowing, that'd be worth gold right now. If anybody is in Vegas, yeah, take a photo. If you see Chris Chibnall there, take a photograph. Send it to us here at the Tardis Zone, and we could show everybody that he actually is in Vegas. We're caught in a trap. And here's my wife. Hello, my beautiful wife. Kiss a kiss. Oh, thanks. How are you? How's your stomach? A bit. So yeah, if there's anybody out there in Vegas, go and track him down. I'm not much of a Star Wars fan. I love Doctor Who, apart from season 11, says Michael Richardson. Granny vapes. Chibnall isn't all that popular with Americans either. It's just, let me say, it's just the SJWs that think he's great. I would agree. And thank you for joining us, Granny Vapes. I like that name. So welcome aboard the Tardis Zone. Dario108 says, I heard a rumor that Chibnall has joined the writing staff of Star Wars Discovery. That'd be brilliant, because then he'd absolutely, completely destroy it. And then, like Star Wars fans, or Star Trek Discovery fans would actually, well, I mean, not Star Trek Discovery fans. I mean, Star Trek fans would be over the moon. Odyssey 5 was much better sci-fi than Farscape. That's weird stuff doesn't appeal to me, like Firefly and all that. Light humor, each to his own. I like Firefly. Yvette says, no, can't stay too much longer. Gotta catch some sleep. Do you want me to come on? Do you know what? I don't think not tonight. I mean, I just think I'll just keep the conversation going like this for tonight, because I wanted to get a few on, and there's only yourself, and I wanted to get maybe 3 or 4 different people on to talk, and it'll be just, we'll be just repeating the same stuff again. So come on Wednesday, tomorrow, tomorrow's live stream. Why not? I'll try get it. I'm gonna try organize a few more people. Tonight, I'm actually surprised at how shy most of you actually are in the live comments. Like, I'm a pretty shy person too, believe it or not. But I mean, Messenger, it wouldn't be a video call, it'd just be a normal call. You could just come on and give your opinions on Series 11, or tell us what your favorite Doctor Who episode is, or whatever. So you just come on and ramble on like I do. Quantum Leap, I really like that I did as well. My favorite Star Trek series is the original. Nothing can beat those 3 seasons. Since geek named Joel, Michael Richardson. God help Chibnall if Amy finds him. Granny Vape says, "Oh, that's a private conversation." Let me see. Loved Quantum Leap, says Yvette. Loved Zizuzu. No, why can't I? Zisk Ozu. Most didn't. I don't even know what that is. Get away. You need to stop doing this to me. Who's your favorite Game of the Thrones? Who's your favorite Game of Thrones character? I loved Tyrion Lannister. He was my favorite character. Um, I always felt myself um, being pulled towards his character more than any other character in the show. Um, my favorite horror movie is John Carpenter's The Fog. I love that movie. Check Chibnall isn't teetering on the edge of the Grand Canyon. That'd be brilliant, Stephen Cassidy. But Carlsberg don't do dreams, because if they did, they'd probably be the best dreams in the world. Uh, Ronald D. Moore would be a great consultant for Doctor Who. Not showrunner. The showrunner should be British. It's a British show, and that shouldn't change, says Paul. Quantum Leap, says Stephen Griffiths. Let me say. Firefly was okay. I like the movie personally better. Yeah, they did the movie because obviously, you know, I thought the show was very good. I thought it would have got better as it went on. I think Fox pulled the plug too soon, like they always do. They're idiots. Anyone seen Helix? Says Rocket Runner. Paul says it would be great to talk to you about season 11's steaming pile of failure. And not my Doctor Who. I've stayed quiet to see if others would come on now, but I'll do a call if ever needed. Can you call a messenger? Yeah, that's what we're doing it on. We're doing it on Messenger. If you're in the live comments, and obviously I know he is, you can come on. I mean, we've done what, two live streams with live calls, and we've only had three trolls during those live calls. So we've actually done very well. But look, we'll do them tomorrow. So if anybody is interested, like Michael Richardson, not my Doctor Who, we've got Yvette. If you three want to come on, and if there's anybody else that wants to come on tomorrow night, we go we go live at 10, obviously, and half an hour into the live stream, I will take the first bunch of calls. Everybody will get 15 minutes or so. So, look, I'd like to get as many people on, actually, as I can. And then while we have you on talking, then, if you have any questions for any of our live callers, then using the live comments, then you can ask them any question, or if you've got a question for me and stuff like you do already, then yeah. So if anybody's interested tomorrow, all you need is to get Messenger and then add me on Messenger. No, Glenn, Manchester United crest is my profile picture, right? Manchester United crest is my profile picture, right? So, no, Glenn, on Messenger, right? I won't be adding you on Facebook, only on Messenger. So, just want to make that clear, because me Facebook's me Facebook, Messenger is me Messenger. You know what I mean? Currently watching Peaky Blinders before the new series comes out. It's a bloody brilliant show. I agree, Paul Grant. Quantum Leap was quite great at the time. We didn't have much, but it was a good one. Yeah, a couple of seasons of Sliders were great as well, until it kind of went to shit. Yeah, not bad. Like season one better than season two. Hello, Chuckzilla. Nice to have you here. Um, and Yvette saying good night to everybody. Good night, so long, farewell. We'll talk to you tomorrow. My favorite character was always Lord Art Stark in Game of Thrones. Yeah, who doesn't like Sean Bean anyway? My favorite horror movie is The Thing, timeless classic. I love The Thing. I actually like the prequel as well, because it actually showed that the fella that actually did the prequel paid attention to the original. Because if you were to watch the prequel first, even though it was done later, and then watch the original thing, it's actually even better, I think personally, because it gets the whole backstory. Um, Yeah, the Pandorica Dane episode actually really annoys me. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense in that episode. Um, for example, the doctor is in the Pandorica. They put him in the Pandorica. His screwdriver is in the pocket. Is in his pocket. His jacket pocket. They close the Pandorica, but yeah, in the very next episode, he's out of the Pandorica with the screwdriver in his hand. But how did he get out of the Pandorica in the first place to give Rory screwdriver to let him out of the Pandorica box in the first place? And I know some people say bootstrap paradox or whatever the crap. Sorry, that's just lazy again. It didn't make sense. But again, maybe that's just me being a stickler to be very spot on. Foxes like sci fi, they want safe sci fi. Of course they do. And nobody wants safe sci fi. The fans don't want safe sci fi. I sound younger than I actually am on the phone. Yeah, some people do. I sound very weird when I listen back to myself. It's weird. Uh, so, what about people that like both Star Wars, Star Trek, and Star Wars? Um, I, have I missed something there? I'm just going back up to see if I missed something about because I don't know what that comment actually means. I'm sorry if I've missed something. I apologize. My favorite horror film is Halloween. What is your favorite Doctor Who story of all time? Oh, well, I used to say without a shadow of a doubt it was Genesis of the Daleks or Inferno, maybe, because that was very well written. But I mean, you have Heaven Sent in there. I would probably put those three nearly on the same level as each other. So I'll give the diplomatic answer, and I'm gonna say it's hard to choose. So I'll choose those three. Now, what do you think of the title for the new Bond film, No Time to Die? Is that what the that's what the new? No way. Are you serious? Hold on. James Bond. Let me see. No. James Bond. Oh, I just got a bit lightheaded there. Oh my god, the state of that. Wow. I don't I don't know. I've actually no interest now. They've actually killed another franchise um that I've absolutely no interest in seeing now. And again, this is another franchise that I've grown up watching as a kid. I mean, my dad is a huge fan of the Bond franchise. I mean, I remember from watching from Doctor No all the way up to the last one that I seen was obviously Spectre. Um, so I've watched them all, and now of course they've done it again. So yeah, I thought No Time to Die. Well, it was better than the alleged title, which was Shatterhand, which actually sounded fucking ridiculous as well. Yeah, I'm going to get a microphone. Hopefully, says Chuckzilla. Uh, good. Because I'll have any look. I can have any views on at any time. I know the regulars, no problem. Um. I love the original, but two was good. My favorite story is Pyramids of Mars. I've seen it over 100 times. It's still called the best of all time. New fans don't like that, but it's what it is. I like Pyramids of Mars as well. It's I have it there. It's one of my favorite stories that I go back and watch. Inferno is a classic as well. I agree, Paul. They're making the Matrix 4 now. Yeah, so I've been told. I don't really care. I'm not interested. To be quite honest with you. It was groundbreaking for the time, but now it's just like a money grab. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. Um, and I mean, if you look at what Keanu Reeves is doing now lately, I don't know if he's actually in Matrix 4, so I don't know if he has been confirmed. But all I'd just say is, I mean, they're doing um, Bill and Ted again, money grab. You see Tom Cruise doing it as well with, the new Top Gun 2 Maverick. Okay, looks impressive and all, but again, these movies just all seem to be money grabs to me. Um, so I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical. My favorite three are Day of the Doctor, Genesis of the Daleks, and Blink by Dane. Um, Three good choices, says Dane by Rocket Runner. Genesis of the Daleks, Heaven Sent, the Pyramids of Mars, the Deadly Assassin Invasion of Time, says Paul. There's so many good. There is so many good episodes. There is so many good stories out there. It actually shows when Doctor Who is on his game, it can actually produce. Pyramids of Mars, totally with you there. Love some of New Who, but when they did Chibnall and Jodie switch, that lost me altogether, says Granny Vapes, and I love that name. Seriously, that's a brilliant one. Michael Richardson is saying good night, everyone. Good night, Michael. Have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you here again tomorrow night, pal. Uh, and stay safe, as I always say. James Bond is James. How can a woman be 007 and it be Bond film? The crazy feminist stuff is crazy now. I agree, Paul. It is crazy now. Love the keys of Mariners, the Tomb of the Cybermen, and the War Games is epic, says Chuckzilla. Geek name Joel says, my favorite stories of Waters of Mars. My two criminally underrated stories from New Who are The Unquiet Dead and The Empress of Mars, both Mark Gaze's stories. Matrix 4, isn't Neo dead? Yeah, but they probably find some way of bringing the bleeding fecker back. Come here. And anyway, I lost interest in 2 and 3 pretty bleeding quick, to be honest. The first one, as I said, is groundbreaking. Should have left it at that. Again, at the time, that was a money grab. Um, Logo Populus is my favorite story. A TARDIS in a TARDIS. Tegan arrives, Nessa returns, and the Master in his new body. And Unknown 289, an unearthly child, the Web Planet, the Three Doctors, Genesis of the Daleks, the Five Doctors, Remembrance of the Daleks, TV movie, Dalek, Midnight, Vincent Van Gogh, Heaven Sent are my favorites. Jeez, you got some list there too. And we have uh, a new newcomer here. The Nibra, hello there, hello and good evening. Not my Doctor Who. Gotta go now. Good night to you and Cheryl. Speak to you tomorrow night. Night, all good night, and say good night to your Mrs. Ferris as well. Um, uh, uh, Logo Publish is a downer for me. Sad way to send off Tom Baker. He really didn't give a shit near the end though. Rocker Runner, no, not my Doctor Who Chuckzilla. I agree, says Paul, and totally agree, Paul. Using the 007 license as a way to insert a woman into the main role of Bond movie is a manipulative as it was devious. A totally under the belt maneuver. 007 is James Bond. But here's the thing, Daniel Craig is at fault for all this shit because he's the one that uh, actually put this woman forward to write for Doctor Who. So, oh, Doctor Who, James Bond. So blame Daniel Craig, and he is the man that has killed James Bond, not a woman. He has, because he's the one that suggested the head writer. Doesn't get a lot of love, but I always liked Terminus. Vincent Van Gogh has a very emotional end. The story was good, but not a classic weak monster. I agree, but it did actually highlight a very difficult and a very it was good that they highlighted um the whole depression situation, because if you look at especially what's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of pressures out there, and I think that episode um, was very beautifully put together, and I'm glad I highlighted that issue. It really needed to be out there, and it was a great way of doing it. And yes, you know the Vincent Van Gogh story is overrated in my opinion, and it is, and I don't care what anybody says, it is, right? The only thing that makes it, the reason why everybody likes it so much is because everybody, especially people that suffer with depression, can relate to Vincent Van Gogh, right? And that's why I loved it, because I can relate, and others that suffer. I'm not saying if you don't suffer from depression, you can't relate, but people that do suffer from depression can relate even more to that character. And yes, the end was very emotional, but I love that, and I always cry like a baby. I'm not gonna lie, it is an emotional um part. And if you don't at least have a lump in your throat, there's something wrong with you. No, who is your favorite and least favorite Bond actor? Oh, my least favorite is George Lazenby. I know he only did one, but I didn't. Yeah, probably. And my favorite. Hmm. Oh, my favorite Bond. Hmm. I'd have to say Sean Connery, because no, no, I wouldn't actually. No, what am I saying? It's Timothy Dalton for me. I know he only did two movies, and I forgot even about him. It's Timothy Dalton, because I tell you why, right? License to Kill and in The Living Daylights were ahead of their time, especially License to Kill. In my opinion, those two movies were way ahead of themselves. And if they were actually to be redone with Timothy Dalton taking over from Daniel Craig, I know he's too old to, but if they were to re-release those movies now right after Daniel Craig's Bond, I don't think fans would be disappointed. I actually think his movies would work well today. Um, yeah, a lot of people are saying that Tom Baker's last story is pretty boring. That's from High Desert 004. Welcome as well. New theory is that the neighborhood kid shot Van Gogh and he didn't want to ruin his life, so he didn't say anything before he died. Well, was Adric what were hold on, I don't want to miss comments. I've obviously missed a load here. Um Sad to see Adric go. Adric coming back in Big Finish. I like the Tom Baker Space trilogy. Just logging in. I missed. Have I missed anything? Says Don Smith. No, you haven't. And welcome aboard, Don. The person that wrote Vincent and the Doctor is actually mainly a comedy writer. It's great how he can be great at two different genders. Yeah, considering it was a sad story. I was reading that wrong there. Yeah, but I mean, you look at Jim Carrey. I was criticizing him earlier on. He's a comedian actor, but his movie number 23, he plays a serious role, and he's actually good in that movie. Where Adric sacrificed himself. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, yeah, Adric. Yeah, I bet you he's not. I bet you everybody thinks Adric is bleeding brilliant now. New theory is that, oh yeah, I read that. You had me worried there. I thought my memory was gone. Earth shock. Um, Sorry, some of the where are we? Where are we? Where are we? It keeps jumping. It keeps jumping. It keeps jumping. Paul says Peter Davison's stories were all weak to me. Chuckzilla says the diamonds, the sea devils, and the brain of Morbius. High Desert 004 says only one I liked was Caves of Adrazani. Rocket Runner says Davison did have more weak stories than good ones, but there were some gems in his run, says Rocket Runner. Davison was a fantastic doctor. Look, he was a fantastic doctor. I will agree that his era was pretty weak, but there, as some have pointed out, uh, every doctor has a gem or two in there, and I don't think anybody can deny that, except for when we come to Jodie Whittaker's doctor. That's completely different. She doesn't have a gem in there whatsoever. And I know people will argue that Rosa and Demons of Punjab are probably the greatest historical episodes that were ever shown on Doctor Who, but I would totally disagree with that. I actually think they were. Rosa, the episode itself, was an insult to that whole important milestone in American history, especially African American history. And I think it belittled and cheapened that whole situation. So, I mean, it didn't do that episode did not do that's it, that whole issue or that whole situation any respect. It was disgraceful. And Demons of Punjab was supposed to be about the partition of India, but there was hardly anything about that, and it was more about religious beliefs, right? So why lie and tell us that it's a historical episode if all you're going to talk about is the religious side of it when there was so much more going on in India at the time, right? So I mean, this is the type of crap that they're peddling, and we don't want that in Doctor Who. Granny Vape says one thing that the SJWs don't have is enough guts to make their own shows and narrative. They wouldn't be wonderful. It would be more impressive. I agree. I agree. They're not capable of writing that and decent. They just want to just throw the ideals out there and let anyone else read Matthew Waterhouse autobiography High Desert 004. I haven't. I haven't. Um, but I heard he's back. Someone rightly pointed out a big finish. What if Doctor Who's story about hate, lies, and consequences of those things, but Doctor is responsible for that? No master, no some mind bending alien, just the Doctor. Wow, good concept. It's called it's called Blue Box Boy. Am I missing something? Oh, the book. It's called Blue Box Boy. All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Jim Carrey played a pretty great and sad role in Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I mean, yeah, another good movie. I forgot about that one. And the Truman Show, he was actually quite good in it too. I love that movie. That movie was miles ahead of its time, showing you Big Brother is always watching you. Join us for the Conspiracy Zone every Friday night. To each their own, but Peter Davison was not a good doctor. He was JNT shock choice to move younger. He had some great stories yet. He's a good actor, but His time was weak, says Paul. That's a fair point. And you know, um, I think he was my doctor, so I'm gonna defend him, obviously. But Rosa is just an embarrassment to Doctor Who. Look, they keep peddling this crap, right? Doctor Who, Red Demons of Punjab, and Rosa are the two episodes that they put into these multiple award ceremony, right? And the only awards that Rosa has won, or Demons of Punjab have won, have been awards that have been made up only this fucking year, right? They're not established awards, right? All the established award ceremonies have snubbed Doctor Who, right? And yes, while they have snubbed Doctor Who for a couple of years, and people will make that point, what I'll say to you, Jodie Whittaker fans, is that Jodie Whittaker was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. You talked her up as the best doctor ever. You said that our era was the best era ever. The media came out and supported her and said she was great doctor, that she actually dusted off the cobwebs off the 55-year-old franchise, and she bred new life into it. But yeah, the woman hasn't won any award of significance with playing the role. The showrunner hasn't won any awards of significance being showrunner. The show is an embarrassment to the proper fandom of this show. The BBC actually need to stop embarrassing the fandom as well by peddling this crap, right? And actually putting it into uh, into award ceremonies to be nominated. It shouldn't even be nominated. We don't even want a reminder of this era. So don't be going out there, and I'll say it to someone out there, and hopefully, you know what, I know nobody from the BBC is watching my video, but you know what, if the off chance that someone was, I'll just say, stop flogging this crap. Nobody's interested, right? Nobody's interested in Series 11. Nobody's going to be interested in Series 12 except the gobshites that actually supported this show, right? But the real fans, the true fans, the fans that you've been screwing over for decades, yeah? Us and older fans that are obviously older than me, fans that have watched from the beginning, they're the fans you should be bleeding worried about. Don't be worried about these new fans. You will attract new fans if you write something amazing, right? But you know what? It's about time you stop disrespecting the fans, right? And you actually gave us what we want. Yeah. And don't be peddling this crap, because Rosa is an embarrassment. And Demons of the Punjab is an embarrassment. All right. And you know what? I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again. I would love, and I keep saying this, I would love to know from someone in the African American community in America what they actually thought of that episode, Rosa. I really would. I would like someone from that community, because that was such a historical event, right? It basically, that one event helped change the future, okay? And they made a mockery of it and then put in a pop song right at the end of the bleeding thing. That bus scene was amazing until they put that stupid song in. But it was disrespectful to the whole situation, no, right? Stop embarrassing the fan base by flogging this crap, right? Don't be sending this show out for any more nominations, because it doesn't deserve it. And certainly don't do the same with Series 12. If you have any sense, you will just leave it alone. Just do us all a favour. Air Series 12, get it done and over with, so us fans can actually move on and look forward to the bloody future. Seriously, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Don't be flogging this crap, right? Because it ain't Doctor Who. And we Doctor Who fans have had enough of you flogging this crap and calling it Doctor Who. That's Doctor Who. That's even Doctor Who. Yeah? Right? That's what Doctor Who is, not the crap that you're flogging. So, whoever's in charge, get your act together. Piers Wenger, whoever you are, get your act together, yeah? Because you don't even know the potential. Like, do you know what? I really would, and I mean this, right? I hate BBC with a passion, but I would really love to go in there I really would. As a consultant or something for doctor, I really would. I'd go in there and I'd clear bleeding house, man. Put everybody straight. This is how it's going. This is the brief. If you don't follow the brief, get out. Lindsay said Davison will always be my doctor. First Doctor historical stories are way better than the 13 Doctors historical stories. They were awful. I agree. Um, well, I was happy. I was never going to do Doctor Who series or story. It will be going to be darker than Torchwood Children of the Earth. I agree with you there, says High Desert Double of Four. Six Doctor wasn't anywhere near as bad as people. No, Six Doctor wasn't as bad. It wasn't. It was just look, by the time Baker came along, it was already in trouble. They could have got the greatest actor in the world to play the role, and it still would have been bad. Rocket Runner Series 11 was an embarrassment, and Series 12 will be. Series 12, they're going to double down. Series 12 is going to be even more of an embarrassment. This is why, look, even though I am going to watch because I'm going to do reviews for it, everybody else that's watching me now, right now, I have over 450 subscribers, right? If you 450 people don't watch this new series, that's 450 people less watching this show. There needs to be a boycott of Doctor Who. You know what I mean? This era, look, they're gone. But and I know people say, well, why we boycott because they're gone. I mean, if it does badly, you know what I mean, it'll just go away with a whimper, and that's what I want. You know what I mean? I don't want this show going out on a high, this era going out on a high. And I'm being honest, and I will say that, and I don't care if I get criticised. I do not want this show to go out on a high. I want it to go out with a whimper. It doesn't deserve any accolades. Any of the accolades that it's gotten, it hasn't deserved. And actually, if you look at the accolades that it's actually won, they're actually jokes. And BBC are actually like peddling this crap, right? And they're actually putting up that they won this award. Like they're not even embarrassed that they've won Little Mickey Mouse awards. They're actually proud of it. And even someone said to me, even when you've got award shows that you know that are fully PC that are even rejecting Doctor Who, then you know that there's something wrong. When even the people that are PC are rejecting this bullshit. Paul says Colin Baker was a good doctor. Well, I was a teen, I didn't like him. As an adult, I really appreciate him. He was given a horrible costume, but had some good stories. The choice for him to be a knob. I agree, Paul. I do. I have to say, I find the two doctors actually a struggle to watch. To be honest, but again, you know, when I watched it the first time, I thought he's very irritating. But then I sat down again and I watched it again. And you know what? I do agree with you. You could see that there was a good doctor in there. Was JNT and not Colin Baker, says uh, Paul. Oh, I forgot the choice for him to be a knob was JNT and not Colin Baker. Yeah, because he comes across as a real nice man, but his doctor was a knob. Series 11 really doesn't seem like a grand joke. Let's make it just for shits and giggles. I agree. Chuckzilla. Oh, that's a private conversation. Trial of a Time Lord was great. Show the Time Lords as bad as they were good. Ah, that just reminds me. So, if I'm correct in saying Renee, and there was someone else that was interested in the time trial of a Time Lord, and someone was interested in the beginning with the 3 episodes. So there was two people that were interested. I forget who the second person was. So whoever the second person was, if you can remind me who you were, and I'm gonna put you and Renee's name in a cup or a glass or whatever, and I'll pick out your name live tomorrow night, and whoever's name I pick out gets the 2 DVDs. Rosa was crap. Yeah, but I really would like to know from someone from the African American community what they actually thought of that Doctor Who episode, Rosa. I've always been, because seriously, I don't think, if I wouldn't be happy. I mean, if that was someone making a show and a mockery of Irish history and about what we went through, I'd be rightly pissed off about that. Um, Dane says Rosa was one of the worst episodes. I agree. Rosa had no part in Doctor Who and served no point for it. Pure politics nonsense. I said it at the time. I remember. Do you remember when it actually this time last year when we were talking about rumors about Series 11 and it came out that they were doing a Rosa Parks episode? I remember actually saying that at the time, and a lot of the people that follow me will tell you that I've been saying that from day one. Rosa Parks has no business in Doctor Who. I'm sorry, it doesn't. That issue has no business in a British sci-fi show. Shit, nearly broke me like that. Rossi G12 says, "Hi all, welcome. When I saw Rosa, where is it? Where did those comments go? There we go. When I saw Rosa, I made the choice to not watch new Doctor Who for the first time since 1977, says Paul. Unknown 289. Which one does everyone prefer of the Sixth Doctor? The multicolored costume or the big Finnish blue one? I like the big Finnish blue one. I really do like the big Finnish blue one. Colin Baker needs to burn that costume. LOL. I agree. He does. He really does. He really does. Rosa is what happens when a bunch of SJW pillocks with no talent are encouraged to present history through today's progressive lenses, says Rocket Runner, and I agree. High Desert 004 says, wish Colin Baker put his foot down and refused to wear the clown suit. But he liked the show so much that he probably would have, if they told him to wear bloody dress, he probably would have wore it. Bull says, I really enjoyed Colin Baker and his arrogance. It was a new facet of his character. I didn't mind the arrogance. It was just he was a knob for the sake of just being a knob, and I don't think people really like that. But I do like when a doctor is arrogant, because a doctor like that is unpredictable, and a doctor like that can make mistakes. I was hopeful about Series 12, just like every Doctor Who series. I'm not hopeful at all, and I haven't been since this era started. I've been dreading a series coming. JNT killed Doctor Who with bad choice after bad choice. He's not as bad as Chibnall, but close. JNT took over from the best showrunner and the best doctor and killed it slow, says Paul. Dane says if the Valier did come back to Doctor Who, Michael Janssen, or well, it's not a different actor, and if they a new actor, and would Michael Janssen come back to do it regeneration? I get what you're saying there. I personally just going to continue to collect classics Who on DVD, mainly because of the issues with some of the Blu-ray discs and the fact that they are only limited editions over here. The thing about it is, though, if you look at all those Blu-ray releases that they're actually throwing out, there's always problems with them, which means they're not even showing them the respect that they deserve. They're just whacking them all together and throwing them out there because they know fans will buy them, because they know Series 11 this year so bad and fans will buy it. There's been issues with it where people have had to send discs back and wait for a new disc to come in. It's actually ridiculous. They should fix all these issues before they even sell a DVD or a Blu-ray to anybody out there. It's ridiculous. They're all BBC and all these other companies that are involved in this are all just a bunch of money grabbing little pigs, because they know that they've ruined and messed Doctor Who up. Right? If you're going to give us classic episodes or classic series, right, classic seasons, right, at least do them the justice that they bleed and deserve, and make sure that there's no issues with the discs when you actually put them out there. You know, you don't see any other movies or any other Blu-rays have problems, right? It's always Doctor Who. There's always a problem. And then if it's not that, then there's either something wrong with the animation or they're leaving scenes out or anything like that. If you're not going to give us proper quality shit and you're only going to do special edition for people that can afford this special edition, well then you know what? Don't do them at all. It should be open to all fans. Do you know what I mean? Do the special edition and mass bleed and produce them. People will buy the special editions. You think they won't? They will. I'll even buy a special bleed edition. How about new TARDIS design news, please, says Peter Davison. Well, I did say that the TARDIS in video a few months back that the TARDIS was to undergo a slight quote unquote tidy up, is what they were saying. It wasn't going to be a full redesign, but they were going to tidy it up. Look, they're not even happy with the bleeding inside of the TARDIS. Like, why the hell did they even let this thing go on screen in the first place is beyond me. Seriously, people's heads have the role. And by the way, for anybody out there, that's not me saying that people's heads should be heads chopped off. People's heads, the role just basically means that people should lose their jobs because of this. Milan Review says, hi all. El Noida says, it was me. Bull says, I didn't and don't mind the costume, says Bull. Oh, Jesus, look at all these comments. I only want the one that's region 1, says Renee. Who was the enemy in Rosa? It was Krasko, as I like to call him, the leather jacket racist guy. His only motivation throughout the whole episode was he was a racist and just wanted to stop a woman from getting on a bus because Chris Chibnall thinks that's intelligent writing. And it's not intelligent writing, it's just lazy writing from someone who was way out of his depth. Difference between children's television and childish television, says Peter Davison. I would agree with you right there. I feel like Colin Baker's Technicolor Dream suit would have suited Matt Smith's a lot more, says Milan Reviews. Raymond O'Reilly says War Games Heaven Sent, watch Deep Breath, really enjoyed it. Ben Wheatley really should direct the new series of Doctor Who. Done Deep Breath and Into the Dalek. He directed it. High Desert 004. Anyone think Douglas Adams is overrated as a sci-fi writer? And again, he says, felt that Moffat thought he was Adams reincarnated and was doing something clever with the show, but most of it was terrible. Rocker Runner says they screwed up that first Blu-ray release big time. They do it every time. They're idiots. Everything is on DVD. I have everything on DVD. The new show is on Blu-ray here in America, says Paul. I can't stand that new logo on the classic releases, says Chuckzilla. Neither do I, but apparently it's a money-saving tactic as well. Personally, I don't like the new show enough to have bought much on Blu-ray. I have all of Eccleston, Tennant, and Smith's first season only, says Paul. It's problems with the BBC Blu-rays in general. It happens with the Blu-ray releases of Red Dwarf season 1 to, and apparently with Quartermass and but it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Not in today's age. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. On DVD, not Blu-ray, but there is no excuse for it. I'm sorry, but not in this day and age. There is no excuse not to put out quality product there. If you're buying a Blu-ray and you're paying what 50, 60 quid for a Blu-ray release, right, or a special edition that would probably cost you 70, 80 quid. I'm sorry, but I expect that to be in pristine condition, and I expect it to be have no faults in it. We're in 2019 now. I think people seem to forget. You know what I mean? We're in 2019. We're nearly into 2020 now, right? Technology has moved on a long way. Even Blu-ray has. I'm sorry, there is no excuse for faulty Blu-ray discs. I think Series 12 is going to be the best ever, because Daleks, Cybermen, Jadoon, Autons, Zygons, Weeping Angels, Suntarans, the Master, Sea Devils, Ice Warriors, and Suntarans, Valiard are all in it. No, they're not. Don't know where you're getting that one from. Moffat wasn't that good, hit or miss for me. Some gems, mostly so, some stupid. He was more miss for me than hit. So Blu-ray releases are too expensive. I agree. Still to this day, how long is Blu-ray out now? And they're still very bleeding expensive. Moffat was not good showrunner. He wrote some good episodes, especially before he took over from RTD. That's when he was good. Rossi G12. High Desert 004 says, I only have Capaldi completed classic, complete series. Classic Who, I just get the used DVDs. BBC are crash grabbers, said Chuckzilla, 2000, Chuckzilla. Dane says, Radio Times, I got that from. Day of the Doctor was awesome. Only nitpick, I didn't like the Zygons as the bad guys. Terror of the Zygons was a weak one to me. Unknown 289, I got Red Dwarf on Blu-ray for 30 quid, and after the disc issues were fixed, it had everything and extra specials. I only chose it because of getting them on DVD would have cost 35 to 40 quid. The Autons would have been so much better, says Paul. Yeah, but here's the issue I have, right? As I said, we're in 2019. They should not be having issues with Blu-ray now. How long is Blu-ray out? And you mean to tell me that they haven't perfected the technology? I'm sorry. BBC are just a bunch of lazy twats, or whoever they're getting to work for them are a bunch of lazy twats. Even some of the artwork was criticised. The John Pertwee, some people said that his head looked a bit off. You know what I mean? They haven't paid attention, and apparently in different countries where they're doing the box sets, there's someone showed one from Germany, I think it was, and very impressive. They really put time and effort into the box sets. BBC over here just seem to throw them together and throw them out there. And even the special editions ones are not done as great. It's cheap quality. Even the boxes that they're in are cheap quality. Everything about it now that BBC is doing is cheap. They just want to take your money. It's like everything out there. They just want to take your money. And they don't care what they give you. In the Day of the Doctor was decent, not bad by any means, but far from the best. That's the way I would actually describe it myself. A Milan review says it's an episode that exists. Paul says that's the thing with Moffat. He gets close but never goes full good story. The few gems stand out, but the rest are only almost. I agree. At why I like DVDs better. Yeah, DVDs are better. DVDs are better. Um, and I still try find the DVDs. I'd rather the DVDs. I know Blu-ray has all these extra features and all this, but if you can't get it right, and and let's be honest, right? You go out and you pay all that money for that DVD box set, and you imagine your excitement when you go and you're told that it's finally on its way, right? And then you go to whatever your post office or whatever, if it doesn't get dropped off by the postman, personally, right? And you go and collect that, and you come home, and then you whack it on, and you find out that there's an issue with it, right? It's at the taking the excitement out. You know what I mean? It's at the ruining your excitement. When you buy something, you should be able to put it in and have no problems with it. After season 12 was released on Blu-ray, someone made an even better and higher definition for free on YouTube of some of the stories only a week after it came out, and they fixed some of the issues. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. BBC, who is BBC employing them? Obviously, they're all a bunch of incompetent idiots if they can't even get a Blu-ray release done properly. And I'm sick of the way they keep cheating fans with all these special editions, and then they bring it out then a few weeks later, then a different edition. But like there might be two or three items that is the only difference. Do you know what I mean? In the special edition, it's ridiculous. Just mass produce the special edition. We'll all feckin' buy the special edition. Everybody likes buying special editions because you always find something. And I know some people like the normal versions and something, but a lot of people like buying the special editions just to say they have the special edition. Perhaps we should let the Peter Nostra gang after after Chibnall. I agree. I prefer Blu-ray, but my classic Doctor Who on DVD are just fine, just the way they are. Gotta run. Great stream, says Paul. Paul, we will talk to you again tomorrow if you're here. Have a good night, mate. I'm going to be going shortly myself because it's not going to be a 3 hour stream anyway. I did not like the Pay Monster gang. I think it was Strax with left a bad taste in my mouth. Raymond O'Reilly says, wish they did dust up. Wish they did dust up the show, but they didn't. From a show that had something where stuff was titled like Doctor Who Age or where the Doctor was from, not even a speech bugger me. That's from Raymond O'Reilly. Chuckzilla says, Moffat is a good idea, guy. His results, not so much. That's it. Maybe the new showrunner should tap into Moffat's brain and then he could refine Moffat's idea. We all have bad taste in our mouth, says Peter Davison. I like that one. I prefer Blu-rays for the simple reason they are not as fragile as DVDs. Rocket Runner. Fair point, but as I said, we're in they're out so long now that there is no excuse for them to be getting it wrong. I'm sorry, but there's not. I think it's just laziness. Moffat was great at casting, says Super John. I agree. The Pace Monster gang were pretty overrated. Jago and Lightfoot were better, says Unknown 289. Right, listen, folks, I'm going to go now because I have a live stream tomorrow and I've got a few things to do now tonight. But what you call it? Obviously, I'll be on tomorrow, 10 o'clock, the usual time. And hopefully I'll have something for you. So, you know, just hang on for a second. Before you all start flying away there, just wait. Do me a favor, the usual, as I said, make sure that you're still subscribed. If you haven't liked the video, give the video a like if you've liked what I've had to say. Obviously, if you dislike the video, you can dislike the video if you want. Press the notification bell also. And please, as I said, make sure that you're still subscribed because apparently Twitter is being, not Twitter, YouTube is being naughty and they're actually putting comments into the spam box. And they've also, oh, I've got something here. Hold on. What? Okay. Well, that can wait till tomorrow. It's not really that's significant. Right. So listen, I'll talk to you all tomorrow night. I might have a little bit of news for you tomorrow, obviously concerning if anything happens tomorrow with that meeting. I will let you all know during the live stream tomorrow. Sure, you will all know anyway. If something does come of it, you know, I will obviously let you know before I come on live. Listen, thanks for all joining me again tonight. I really appreciate the support that I've had these last couple of months. It's been amazing. I'll be on tomorrow because I see people are asking me. I'll be on tomorrow at 10 p.m. UK time. I will put the link up on the usual places. Everybody that knows, I put it up on Twitter, Messenger, Facebook. So if you're on any of those three and you happen to be following me in any of those, that's where you will get the link. Listen, good night. God bless. Talk to you all tomorrow and have a safe night. And it's been a pleasure. And hopefully I'll be able to get Ted back on for you again tomorrow, because I know you all love him better than you love me, which kind of disappoints me in a way, because I thought you all really liked me, but it was the dog that you really liked and not me, and that kind of upsets me a bit, because I thought I was the one you wanted to see. See, even I'm a better actor than Jodie Whittaker. Did you see that? I bet you were all convinced there for a second. Right, I'm gonna go. Come on. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I love you all. See you. Bye. That's funny.